Yo, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Steve Fox in the 12-minute guide series. So just a little heads up, he's a little bit more advanced, so I might leave out some of his stances, but if you want more of that, just let me know down below. But let's get straight into it. First off, I want to talk about back one, which is arguably top 3 in Steve's arsenal for many reasons, but as you see, is pretty fast and it's a counter hit launcher. Boom, uppercut. Love that combo. So as you see, you have to hold back. Okay, I want to make sure you understand that when you do back one, you want to always hold back, because when you hold back, the move is plus 10. When you don't, it's plus 2. And on block, it's minus 14, and it's minus 1 if you do hold back. Okay, that's a huge difference. It goes from being pretty unsafe to really safe. Okay, and the reason why is because when you do back one and hold back, he goes into flicker stance. Okay, so it's canceling out the long time that he's waiting. Okay, where it's a lot chunky and slow. But when you do back one and hold back, you're allowed to go into flicker, and you're way more plus, and you can transition out of it. Okay, another good way is when you do back one hold back, you can do down back to get out of the stance if you don't want to press any of his options in that stance, and the stance is called flicker. Okay, next you have down forward 2. Boom. So after down forward 2, you only on counter hit, you do forward 3, right, which is his forward duck. You can also forward duck with 4 or 3. Okay, so let me show. So on counter hit, you do down forward 2, forward duck, Gatling gun, and you can just spam it. It's very easy. It comes out damn near every time. You can just spam the button over and over with no issue, so that's really good. Okay, but always keep in mind, you don't want to walk up down forward 2 because it's minus 11. Okay, the bright side it is that not only is it minus 11, but most people might try to do a bigger punish, because if they don't do a 10 frame punish, then they won't get any punish, if that makes sense, you know, because if a move is more negative and they do a 12 frame punish every time, they're gonna get that out, right? But since it's only minus 11, you have to do a 10 frame punish, so it has some leeway. But the reason I say you do this at a distance is because look at that, the range is not too bad. Okay, so look at that, you want to make sure you're at this range and you do this move, because if you do it, boom, Gatling. Okay, there's a little more advanced option you can do. So if you do down forward 2 and hold down like you would do down back, right, you do hold down back after forward duck, you do, oops, so there you go, 44 damage. As you saw, it's a little difficult to do, but once you get the timing down, it's gonna be beneficial. So the reason why you would want to do it, even though the damage is not much more, is because it's keeping the opponent right here with you. Okay, versus with the Gatling guns, it's going to throw the opponent further away and you won't have any mix up. It's kind of back to neutral, you know. But when you do that cancel into the rising 1-2, it keeps the opponent right in front of you, so you can do more pressure. Okay, so just like that back one flicker, you can do down back to cancel. But just like forward 2 duck, you do down back and you hold it. Okay, so it'll put you in crouch and let you get out of it. Okay, next I want to talk about down forward 1. So this move you're going to be using a whole lot because it's a mid check that has a follow-up with 2, and that's your 13 frame punish. Okay, you can also cancel into all of his stances. Okay, so you can do down forward 1 back sway, down forward 1 duck, to the side, to the right side. Okay, so that's very important. Okay, and keep in mind, if you want to duck to the left, you have to hit 3. If you want to duck to the right, you have to hit 4. But if you want to duck forward or sway back, either button is fine. You can do back 3 or back 4. You can do forward 3 or forward 4. Okay, just want to clear that up because it might seem confusing at first. I have forward 2-1. This move is really good because it's has a lot of range. This is something that will help you get into the opponent. And if you hold forward, it will put you into peekaboo. And if you hold back, it will put you into flicker. Okay. If you saw, at the wall, you would do 4-2-1, hold back, right? And then you duck forward. So just like that flicker in the beginning, when you hold back and you duck forward, it's a lot quicker than trying to manually duck, okay? Because you're canceling out of something that's a lot faster, okay? It skips the frame. This is to mix up the options, okay? I like to do down 2 because it's a heavy, meaty low, okay? When I'm in peekaboo. You can also go into peekaboo by just doing forward 3+4. To go into flicker manually, you do back 3+4, okay? But most of the time, I'm going to be jabbing into these stances. You do 1-2-1 into flicker, 1-2-1 into peekaboo, okay? So it's a little tricky, but over time, you will get to understand it. Out of the peekaboo, quickly, you have up 2 as launcher. You have forward 2-1. It's nice, throw them away. It's a little bit slow. You have 2, which is like a sabaki, which means if Jin throws a punch, this move will automatically counter that and it will knock the opponent onto the ground. And as you see, it tracks. So they step, it will also hit the opponent. So it's a really good move out of peekaboo. So that's definitely a quick little something. You can do back 1-2-1, a long string, you know, and then do up 4-2, launcher, do forward 1+2, knock them away, and it gets you out of the stance, okay? Now I want to talk about his Ali stance, which is what I like to call it, but it's called Lionheart. So you can do manually by doing up back 3. You can do back 1-2. You can do up back 2. Okay. So in this stance, you have 2, which is an uppercut, which is a launcher on hit. You have 1, which is this mid that tracks. Whoops, as you see with those marks, and it's a heat engager. It's the fastest move out of that stance, so, and it's only -9, so it's technically safe, so that's really good to know. Quick little option. And then you have 1+2, which is a high, but it's also a guard break, okay, which guarantees 1-1-2, okay. And like I was saying previously, after you do that guard break, you can do 1-1-2 into duck or back, or, you know, so whatever option you may want to do, okay. Another neat trick I want to say is up back 2. If you hold back, he will not go into Lionheart, okay. It will cancel out that move and you can just stay in this move, okay. See on the top left, this up back 2 back, and it will cancel out Lionheart. And most of the time, if you go into Lionheart and you don't want to do a mix-up, you're gonna have to duck out of it, okay, or sway back. A sway back or duck is how you can get out of Lionheart. You cannot manually block, okay? So don't forget that, because it's happened to me in the beginning and you will get launched, okay? Next, I want to talk about his heat engagers. He has 1+2. He has, you spin, it's 3+4, 2. Very good because it has so much range, closes the gap, okay? He has quarter circle forward 1. Like just like a Lionheart. The difference between this one and the Lionheart version is that it's slower. This is 16 frames, while the Lionheart version is 14 frames, okay? And the manual version is -10, while the other one's -9, okay? So that's definitely get people off guard, because one is punishable and one is not punishable. So you can kind of mess around with that, but it's important to know, but a lot of times people aren't going to really punish this all the time. So it's still a good move, okay? Good. It also wall splats, okay? Next one, talking about his lows. He has down 1+2. He has quarter circle forward 2. And if you hold forward, it goes into peekaboo, okay? So that's really good low. It is -18, unfortunately, but a lot of people, like I said, do not know, because it's, you know, it's pretty fast. And you can go into the stance, so it's a nice low, okay? You also have, out of the spin, which is 3+4, you have down 2. Really good, really fast. If you're out of range, you can just spin, boom, okay? If you want a double spin, you just click it, right? But you can also do down 3+4 after the first one. And if you hit 1, look at that. It comes out faster. And then the low in this actually knocks down. The low from regular does not knock down. So it's a nice little tip to know. If you do that double spin, the move comes out faster and it's a knockdown. Okay, so really good move. Steve doesn't have many launchers. Okay, so back one is your main launcher. Lionheart 2 is another good launcher. It's evasive, you know, jump away. You have up forward 2. This is also another launcher, and this too. Something really good. Most of his launchers come out of his stances, so you always got to keep that in mind. Okay, and when he's ducking, he has forward 2. This is a launcher, and then you have, or forward 4 2, and you have forward 4 forward 2. Okay, which is the hook. And like I was saying previously, when you duck, you can do 3 or 4. So I will keep saying one option, but you can do either option. Okay. So, and you have forward 1, which is a nice little knockdown and on counter hit launcher. Something like that. Very cool. Okay. So Steve he's very damaging. Okay. A lot of his stances are gonna carry him up. So always keep that in mind. Also, when you're in Lionheart, this Ali stance is a parry. Okay. Look at that. Boom. So I didn't know that until very late, but yes, when you're in Ali stance, this move can parry automatically and goes into his stance clinch, which is nuts. Okay, so that changes it. It helps it out a lot more because you cannot block, so it becomes a parry when he's in heat. Okay, and when he's in heat, you can do down forward 3+4 to clinch, right, to duck forward, and when you do that, right, you hit grab, and when he's in that grab, you have 1, which guarantees that. You also have 2, and which just gives you this option. Okay, so it's either 1 or 2 break. Okay, so the 1 guarantees Sonic Fang for a follow-up, and the 2 break just gives you a nice little chunky mix to the opponent. Okay, you can also do his duck attacks when you're in heat. They're all enhanced because he's in heat, so keep that in mind. Last low, you have down back 3, you have up forward 3, and if someone blocks the low, as you see, just like that. So it's really good low, but keep in mind that follow up. They block this low and you continue, they can just duck and punish because you're in the stance and it's a high, so it's a double no-no. Okay, and you will get punished. Also, it's back 2. Good little move because it guarantees Sonic Fang as +4. So you can also do down forward 1, 2 from earlier. So here's a couple options you can do that are really good. Other than that, I think that sums up all the best things you could be doing with Steve. I think this is a good starter. So definitely let me know if you want to get more into his stances. I will definitely be glad to make a video about that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you start with Steve and you can get to mixing up folks. So thank you for watching, and I'm out.